LiberAnarchy here. YouTube cut me off again, so I'm just going to go ahead and make a second part. And what I was saying was, and I don't know when YouTube cut me off, because I'm not going to fucking wait for that thing to process to start posting this. What I was saying was that, yeah, you were dealt a bad set of cards, in the way of who was going to teach you how to get on in the world. And I was saying that with the skill set that you clearly have now, which stinks, you're either not going to get very far, you're not going to get a job, you're not going to get friends, you're not going to get a spouse, you're not going to raise healthy, happy children, or you are going to find friends and lovers and all that who actually will put up with being treated that way, and those people are going to weigh you down in their own dysfunction, and it's just going to make things fucking worse. Yeah. And so now, and if you are willing to treat your friends this way, or if you are willing to talk to a spouse like this, if you don't understand you're a moron, as I saw in your video comments, or I've seen I've seen you say things like, well, you atheists, etc. I don't care what you think. I don't care. You're gonna burn in hell. I mean, what happens if you get married and your wife disagrees with you? Then how are you going to speak to her? Are you going to speak to her like that? Because if you would, then that does reflect badly on you. And see, the only thing that you are telling me or anyone else with all your attempts to degrade people who disagree with you is that you are extremely insecure. And the person who taught you how to talk this way was extremely insecure. You see, these things happen in cycles. And now what you can do, especially with the internet, is learn new resources, new habits, new ways to talk to people. Learn ways to convince people of your ideas. For example, ethos, pathos, logos. Ethos is your credibility. What's your credibility for, say, talking about the Bible? Did you spend 25, I don't know how old you are, let's say you spent 10 years in a Bible study group, for example. Maybe you grew up in the church and therefore were always exposed to the Bible or in some sort of Bible study or something of that nature. Maybe you're in seminary school. I don't know. Okay, but ethos is credibility, established credibility. Logos is logic. Okay. For example, Bob drives off a cliff. Logically speaking, the car's probably gonna careen off the cliff and hit the bottom and explode. Okay, off the top of my head, but you understand what I mean. Okay, in pathos is emotion. You use a lot of emotion, but not the kind that's going to convince anybody. Okay. Tug on people's heartstrings. People are social animals. People are empathetic. So, if you believe that the Christian religion, for example, is going to help feed the hungry, give prosperity to the poor, clothe and shelter the homeless, etc., maybe use an emotional hook like, so many people in the United States go without food. Or starting with, You know what's really great? The feeling of knowing that you helped somebody. And if you donate to such and such Christian mission, they will get food to starving children in Guatemala or something. And using pathos isn't always, an underhanded technique. I might say, imagine a free society. Imagine a society free of superstition, free of indoctrination. Imagine a society full of children whose minds have not been poisoned by guilt or something like that. And then I go into whatever my main argument is, right? And you don't want to use too much pathos or you'll come off as a person who's completely illogical, right? But that's just one example of really, really, really basic rhetoric. How to convince people, how to talk to people. And I can tell you now, if you come out of the gate telling people who disagree with you that they're worthless, that they're going to hell, especially people who don't believe in hell, that their opinions are completely irrelevant, that they're stupid, and that they're morons, they're not going to listen to you. You're not going to convince anyone of anything. And I'm not even talking about winning friends here. I'm talking about winning people who won't turn you off after 2 minutes after leaving some hideous comment on your channel. The reason that people talk to you in such a horrible way is because you talk to them in a horrible way, because somebody obviously talked to you in a horrible, horrible way. And I would really like to see you break the cycle. See, because I recognize it, okay? I mean, somebody somewhere kept calling you a pussy, or a wussy, or whatever. I think your favorite term is wussy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody somewhere kept calling you a wussy. And obviously I don't know who it was, but in this day and age on the internet, you can learn new tools and new ways to do things. And I really hope that you do. And frankly, it's probably going to be pretty hard at first, because you're going to have to realize that somebody who should have protected you harmed you, somebody who should have treated you well and made sure that you knew that they loved you, did quite the opposite. You gonna walk tonight? Yeah. I gotta get to it then. Okay. Set the alarm when you come up. Alright. But, I hope you can get past that, the hurdle of recognizing how bad things are, because it sucks to realize, oh geez, things really are that bad. Things really were that bad. No. But I can tell you this, none of it was your fault. And the insidious thing about verbal abuse is that the abuser tells you, not only just says, well, I'm talking to you this way because you did something bad, therefore it's your fault, but make sure that you think really, really, really badly about yourself. It's really, really insidious. And you're probably going to spend the rest of your life working on your self-talk, working on positive self-talk rather than negative self-talk. But if you um, take the next step and you at least have a go at trying to heal from all this garbage, you will stop lashing out at other people and trying to make other people feel worthless. And hopefully, you are going to start healing and you are going to learn much, much more effective ways of convincing people. So, if you got through this, thanks for listening. And even though I don't know you, I do care about you because you're another human being. And I can empathize with you because I know how it feels to be that down on yourself. And it feels pretty horrible. It's not a good place to be. And I don't expect somebody who's that down on himself to come out and make these extraordinary, eloquent videos encouraging people to come to what you believe is the truth. I don't know what else to say except that I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better about yourself sometime soon. I hope that at some point you do realize that you are not a worthless person, that you are a capable person and a person of value. And I hope you begin to act like you really and truly believe that, because then people are going to treat you better. And with that, I'm going to end this video, and I hope I didn't come off as condescending because that wasn't my intent.